What is going on, my YouTube friends and my Patreon friends? How we all living today? My friend Mackenzie hooking me up with the goods. And okay, let me start here because I got to work on how I'm gonna say this. Oh, it's August D People Part 2 featuring IU, official movie or video. I'm not too sure if it's gonna be live or not. But everything you send me, man, it always like makes my heart feel warm. And like makes me want to keep my chin up, so I'm looking forward to this. And I do respect that this just came out, so I'll like the 24-hour thing's cool. I usually like to give it a couple days, so it'll be an early drop on Patreon. But I do want to say I appreciate this. I appreciate the heads up on that too, because from time to time I do forget. But I do try to do good about that. So let me pull this up. This is your first time checking me out, my friends. I would appreciate the thumbs up, maybe a subscribe, Trying to get, I set some pretty lofty goals on something the other day. I said I want to get to 100,000 this year, and I'm not one to sit here and go, it's the journey to 100,000, but I'm letting y'all know that's what I want. Okay, let's watch this. Let's watch this. Wow.
So time is here, now right it go. I know you know.
Beat came in hard.
So time is here, now right it go. I know you know anything there's no. So time is here, now right it go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
The chords, man, the chords are cool. The harmonies underneath, I don't want to say they made me like feel uneasy. They just like felt like, I guess, chords that I'm just not used to. Like it almost felt like it was more dissonant than it probably actually is. Just because they're below the harmony, the voicing's below. It's like throwing me off a little bit, man. That was cool. I want to hear a bit of that again.
Right it go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
사랑이라는 말 어쩌면 순간의 감정의 날 조건이 붙진 않은 무얼 사랑하는가 충분히 사랑받지 못한 나이 그래서 무엇보다 신중한 타입 나는 말에 원해 진중한 사 알잖아 영어는 못했어 잔잔한 파도에도 힘없이 쉽게 무너져 상실은 무엇 때문에 슬픈 걸까 사실은 두려운 게 슬픈 거야
Wow, man, what a verse. This is a Telefunken 257, I want to say. Think Prince, think Beyonce, think a lot of the superstars. Great verse, man. It was smooth. That was smooth. Like he's just riding this beat. Man. And the lyrics though, I gotta catch more of, because it's just like it's beautiful art. Like it's like poetry, right?
사랑이라는 말 어쩌면 순간의 감정의 날 조건이 붙진 않은 무얼 사랑하는가 충분히 사랑받지 못한 나이 그래서 무엇보다 신중한 타입 나는 말에 원해 진중한 사 알잖아 영어는 못했어 잔잔한 파도에도 힘없이 쉽게 무너져 상실은 무엇 때문에 슬픈 걸까 사실은 두려운 게 슬픈 거야
It's such an interesting take on things, and then like use of metaphors too, right? They'll crumble at the slightest waves. And he was talking about forever, right? I don't want to back it up that much. So the whole thing is interesting, man. And like I try to empathize as best as I can, but like, man, everyone has their own like trauma, we'll call it, right? Like if you've not enough love, too much love. Like I'm defensive too, man. And my folks killed it, in my opinion. Like they are very, very supportive, but that puts me on edge, because sometimes I wonder like with the falsehoods of that, right? Like, because sometimes you're blinded, sometimes you're excited. So like, I get it, man. I get it. It's not the same situation, but I get it, right?
So far away you're gone
Cool.
Getting far away Too far away you're gone I know I have to know, yeah.
So time is here.
Okay, cool. So this is something that I'm curious about, and if there's like a behind the scenes or if anyone's read anything, I'd love to be corrected on this. But my guess is it sounded like they were using a little bit of autotune, and there was only one place that I heard that it sounded like it might have corrected something. Maybe there was only one note. The rest of it sounded like it was just like a distortion, a harmonics, like synthy sounding like layered thing, right? Like just to separate it, especially like when you're singing like on top of a groove that doesn't really, it's not musicians changing, like it's around, right? You need things like that to kind of like keep it exciting for different parts of the roller coaster. And like I said, man, I don't want to get roasted for this, but I only heard one. If it is auto-tune, I only heard one note it might have helped with, and that's it. So like it's great, man. It's great. It's a really nice section. Back it up a bit. Let's back it up a bit.
Getting far away, too far away, you're gone. I know I have to know, yeah.
So
It's beautiful. Like so when you add reverb to something, it pushes it back in the mix. Now you need things to make it cut again, and I think that a modern use of something like auto-tune would do a good job of that. So that's what I'm trying to get at. That's all I'm trying to get at.
now Friday go. I know you know anything there's no. So tell me, yeah, now Friday go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
당신은 무엇 때문에 슬픈 걸까? 사실은 두려움이 큰 거잖아. 함께 미래 그리던 우리는 없고 쌓은 모든 성들을
I'm
부셔버린
getting
큰
distracted by this studio. Okay.
당신은 무엇 때문에 슬픈 걸까? 사실은 두려움이 큰 거잖아. 함께 미래 그리던 우리는 없고 쌓은 모든 성들을 부셔버린 것은 우린 걸. 승패가 없는 게임이라지만 난 언제나 게임 loser. 모든 걸 주겠다던 우린 모든 것을 부셔. 그리고 떠나지 사랑이던 사람이든 모두가 이기적이기 때문이야.
Interesting, man. Very reflective. Very reflective. Heartbreaking verse, though. Heartbreaking verse. And this is always a battle, isn't it? Like, I never want someone to go through those things. But then, like, the double-edged sword is that I'm grateful for it to an extent because we get beautiful art. So I guess, like, the real, like, desire is, like, if this is therapeutic, then, like, kudos, man. Because, like, you're delivering the message well. So I hope that that helped get this off your chest. Like, get the weight off your shoulders, right?
Getting far away.
It's the Martin Cash guitar. I thought it was Simon and Patrick, but it's a Martin. I remember those guitars too. They're nice. They're really nice.
Getting far away, too far away, you're gone. I know I have to know, yeah.
So tell me, yeah, now Friday
Great handoff too.
go. I know you know anything there's no. So tell me, yeah, now Friday go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
떠가는 떠가는 사랑의 끝은 과연 무엇일까? 수많은 사람, 스쳐간 사랑은 사랑으로 완벽할까? 그래 말야 이타적인 게 어쩌면 되려 이기적이네. 널 위해 한다는 말은 곧 내 욕심이기에 욕심을 버리면 행복해지고 채우지 못한 반쪽짜리 허사. 삶은 저항과 복종 사이의 싸움이라는데 내가 보기에는 외로움들과의 싸움이 내 눈물이 터져 나오면 그대 울어도 돼. 당신은 사랑받기에도 이미 충분한데.
See, like when you're already enough to be loved. Like I had a memory today from a company called To Write Love on Her Arms, and it's like you're allowed to take up space. Like you're allowed to, man. And if you're in hurt, it's okay to hurt. Like that's okay, man. It's tough. Sometimes it's really tough, but like. I can't forgive you enough to help you forgive yourself, man. It starts with you, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to turn this into a sermon, but there's just like, that's the thing about dope writing though. Like his situations, my situations are going to be different, but I'm sitting here resonating with it, and it's awesome, man. I love this kind of writing though. I love this kind of writing. It's very like introspective. It's very like, it's challenging of like what you believe. Like, you know, like in my situation, like if I committed 100% to this, if I just did YouTube mixing, producing, songwriting for 16 hours a day, and I told my fiance I'm doing this for us, like, is that selfless or is that selfish? Like, what side of the coin does that fall on? And that's a battle, right? It's a real battle.
Now Friday go. I know you know
Beautiful studio.
anything there's no.
뭐 사람들한테 전달하고 싶은 이야기도 있지만 나 자신한테 이야기를 하는 것처럼 들린다라는 이야기를 많이 들었거든요. 사실이기도 하고요. 그때 당시에 코로나로 여러 가지 것들을 할 수 없을 때 굉장히 모든 것을 잃어버렸다라고 생각을 했을 때 썼던 곡이기 때문에 나 자신한테 되게 해주고 싶었던 이야기였습니다.
That was well said. That was well written, man. I dig that. I dug that a lot. I like the conversation, and if I could take like his last statement and kind of lean on that a little bit, it's interesting now that we're getting to hear everyone's kind of perspectives as we're being reflective on what happened over the last couple of years, right? And like I've talked about it, man. I started this channel because of like I got to use this language correctly. Like I had stints with the medication I was taking that was not working out for me, and like a part of me I lost. A part of me I found for sure, but a part of me I lost, and that made a lot of things really hard, right? And like it's just there's people that have probably been affected more by it. You know what I mean? Especially like from like a creative standpoint, or like if you're a touring musician and like your passion is finding your fans, being in front of them. Like I can't imagine how interrupted that was. You know what I mean? I don't know. I dug it. I dug this, Mackenzie. I always do. I always do. There's something about the writing, man. Like it's just honest. It's just honest. So I appreciate this. My Patreon friends, I hope you enjoyed this a little bit early. YouTube friends, if you found this insightful, or if you enjoyed this reaction, I would appreciate a thumbs up. It's the best way to help out my channel. You can join us on Patreon, send me some requests, or on PayPal as well. I got the links in the description box, and we'll see everyone again soon.